Hey guys, it's Max. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on maybe over here. All right, daily covered caller. I even made some slides. Let's see what the market's doing. We'll check out my volatility system, which too long don't read is still bearish. So today, even though the market ripped, it's still looking for lower prices into next week. As of right now, the shorter term one's bearish. The longer term one has been bearish forever. So into next month, my longer term next month and next year, the longer term one is also bearish at this point. Those can change real fast though. All right, so there's the NASDAQ today. Went up and then straight sideways. SPX up and back down. That's why I was saying probably dead cat bounce. This chart down here at the bottom is my volatility trend following system. This is the shorter time, the 30-minute system, and it's been bearish since up here, since Friday. And it was unfortunate because the market went a little bit higher. If it would have waited a few more days to get bearish, we could have got a better price, but it had the right idea. The market sold off. And the reason it doesn't know, they can't predict the future, but all it's reacting to is people putting hedges on. And right in here, people went from taking hedges off to putting hedges on. Sure enough, we got a pullback, and we may be getting some more of it next week. Who knows? Okay, so there's a reason why I'm bringing that up. My channel has transitioned from following the daily trades of Defiance to and proving that they make money and that they aren't Ponzi schemes. We're transitioning to being able to take what we learn from these trades and apply it in our own trading, in our own option trading. Or if we aren't option traders, we can still apply the principles, money management, and proper allocation in our financial planning. And so that's what I like to talk about on this channel. But the reason I'm showing you guys this simple little volatility system, and I've been following this for years. It's amazing how well it works. And I learned it from somebody else, or I stole it from somebody else, but then I've adopted it. I've adapted it to my own, adopted. But we have to have some kind of framework for, like, whenever I want to talk about, let's look for a SPY trade to do today. Well, what did we want to do today? Well, we want to look for, if the market bounces, which it does, I want to look for a bearish trade into next week because of, and especially if it bounces. So let's see, what do we have here? And sure enough, I did the loaded dice trade, which we stole from Jay. That's where you sell it. The way Jay does it, you sell puts to buy calls. I did a reverse loaded dice. We sold calls to finance puts. But here's a trade in real life you could do on the SPY. I simulated this about a half hour ago. So this is for Tuesday expiration or Monday expiration. So this is just a bearish bet. That's all it is. It's an income trade. You get $102 to put it on. It's a 3-lot trade, but it's a 3x3. You know what you call it? It's a 3x3 loaded dice, bearish loaded dice. But anyway, so the beauty of it is, and what makes it work, or where you can see the edge, is even if the market goes against you like 0.8 of a point between now and Monday, you still get a hang on to your money. So, but if the market does happen to move down, you're still rewarded. So 0.8 against you. I didn't see. I actually should have looked at the number, but 576, you're in trouble. So on a trade like that, here's your play. That's off by 20 cents, but you guys hit it. The play is, that's next Friday. The play is just right to here. Between there and there, you need to keep the stand price under that number. You earn the credit. You get the credit no matter what, and you get to hang on to the credit as long as it's under that number. And if it's well under the number, you may pick up a bonus. So this is a bearish loaded dice, and it's too late to put this on, and it's because it's after 3, and I don't want you guys following these trades until you understand them. These 4-legged spreads are complicated, and they only work in certain circumstances. I'm going to make sure you guys know how to use them before I just start giving them out. But they only work because there's a penny ask on the bid and ask, because there's volume and open interest everywhere. So it's easy to do these trades on the SPY. It's hard to do them on other stocks. So especially we're gonna have a show on it, how to spot a good one and a bad one, what to look for. But for now, we're just talking about the theory of the loaded dice trade. So let's look at some other loaded dice trades. So here's a bearish loaded dice trade in Apple that I showed y'all. Now look, the bearish part of it didn't even hit, but Apple dropped enough after earnings that it's still in the flat spot. If Apple would have dropped more, then they could have had extra. So that's a bearish loaded dice on Apple. And that was done for a credit. All these are done for a credit. So these are all income trades. These are trades you could do in retirement for an income. Or anytime. You can do these anytime for an income. So here's a bullish loaded dice in Apple. Now it's actually showing down 100 right now, but it's actually gonna, if at expiration, it'll be profitable if Apple's price stays where it is. Here's the profit and loss graph right now. So the profit and loss graph says down 100 because of that. We're at 223 right now. Okay. Well, as time passes, look at the profit and loss. This is Sunday, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We just want Apple not to drop less than whatever the break even is, 219.06, and we make a profit. It's an easy peasy trade, and it's a credit. So it's the type of trade Jay might do and does do in some of his trading in Alti and other places. So it is a legit way it's one way to earn an income off stocks. It's a different way than a covered call. And I'm telling you, it's a better way than a covered call. And it was never possible before until the past 2 years, just because of the free commissions and all the liquidity. Okay, so let's see what else. So on the Apple trade, it wouldn't matter if you played it bearish or bullish. They were both, it looks like they're both going to be winners. Well, it depends on how this one ends up. It depends on where Apple's price ends up. I guess the same thing on the bearish ones. The bearish ones don't expire till next week either. So it's that by the same token, if Apple's price drops, if Apple's price goes up next week, this could turn into a loser, whereas the other one could turn into anyway, you guys get it. But they're both looking good right now. And do you think Apple's going to be up 6% next week? Is Apple going to like the Trump win that much? They're up 6%. Now, I don't really think he's going to win. Or I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's a coin toss. I was just joking. All right, so let's see what else we have. So we aren't looking at Jay's trades. We're looking at our trades, but I know it's complicated because we're stealing trades from Jay. Sometimes Jay has on the same trade in one of these stocks that I'm telling you guys to put on. So there's one example of that we're going to look at. I'm trying not to confuse the hell out of you guys. Jay did a loaded dice spread in Microsoft. And by loaded, so he sold puts to finance calls, did it for credit, and he did not even have the stock as an over. He did not do it as an overlay. He just did this as an option trade. Okay, so let's look at this. So Microsoft, their price, they missed earnings. That was not a great report. This is a bullish trade. Yeah, they dropped from 435 to 409, right? So tell me another bullish strategy you could do where you still make money when it drops that far. There isn't one. This is the head start trade or whatever. Microsoft would have had to drop further than 405. Now, these options don't expire till next week. So once again, it depends what Microsoft does next week also. But it's an interesting trade for sure. I mean, I'm fascinated with those kinds of trades. Now, we're doing some other kinds of trades too, but that was kind of the trade of the week, was the loaded dice. Now, look at all the Trump trades, all the dark magnet trades. It doesn't matter which one I gave you on which day, back to September, October, they're all profitable to differing degrees. The clusterfuck, they're all profitable. Oh, I forgot this is live stream. Welcome to the live stream, guys. I'm going to take questions here in a little while. I just have some slides that I want to get through, and so we're going to talk about stuff. But if you have questions, be sure to ask me. But welcome to the live stream. I doubt anyone's watching. I didn't pre-publicize it. Anyway, I'm going to check the comments real quick just to make sure I'm not screwing something up or something before I get too far. But then I'm going to continue giving you guys my spiel. So let me just check the comments if anyone's here. Hello. Thank you very much for being here. I doubt anyone's here yet. I'm probably talking to no one. But anyway, that's fine. That's fine. People will join us. So let me finish talking what we're talking about. I love talking about these option trades that we borrow or steal from Jay. And there's all kinds of examples this week. And he's doing the same kind of trades at ULTY so we can see how they're doing. All right. We're also going to look at some of the other meme trades. I'm going to show you guys a DJT trade or something. But we're just kind of checking in. All right. So where was I? I wanted to drill down on, I guess I wanted to drill down on the Microsoft trade. I already showed that to you guys. So those options don't expire till next week, the way Jay did that. So we'll see if he takes that off, if he roll. We'll see how he manages that trade. It ought to be interesting. I really don't think there's much management. I think we're just gonna see. We'll let him tell us. Also, I'm gonna text him this weekend and ask for a meeting with him. Hopefully he could see me next week, but it may be the week after that because he's busy. I know he has a meeting next week with Oracle. I heard he had a meeting, or Oracle said that. Oracle tweeted that. Anyway, but maybe Jay can meet with us in a couple of weeks, and we can drill down on some of these concepts. I think that would be good. All right, so here's something else that Jay is doing, and he did it to HIMS. So here's the HIMS spread. On HIMS, he just did a call spread. He did a call spread and no stock. You know, usually like what he does on SPY-T or Triple QT. Somebody's calling me. They don't know I'm having a live stream now. Usually what he does on those stocks is he has stock and then he does some kind of option strategy. He usually does a covered call spread. He puts a call spread. He'll do this. Look, he'll do this. He'll just do this on stock. And he really probably, but he did 3,600 options. So to make it right, we have to have 36. And then you put 2 zeros, right? Because everything's in hundreds and options. Okay. He could have easily done the trade like this where he had stock and done this spread on top. And it's still been a great trade. He would have exposed himself to more downside. Okay, but he still could have done that. So let's see what happened. As it was, HIMS actually woke up with the little morning wood this morning. Hang on. Okay, that's just my friend texting about Jax. It's all good. It's all good about Jax. All right. But yeah, HIMS, HIMS is obviously working this morning. Look at that 8:30 bar. That's a good looking morning bar right there, followed by that 9 o'clock bar. It's a great looking chart. Anyway, just a straight bullish bet. Jay probably wishes he would have been more bullish on HIMS than he was, but he just played the call spread by itself without the stock underneath it. So in this case, it cost him a little bit of money, but had this thing dropped, it would have saved him a little bit of money. So So that's what it would have looked like with the stock. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. We'll exclude that. Bam. So now he just did it like this. And this trade is showing a little bit of a loss, but I didn't put the exact prices he got in here. I was just trying to show everyone the spread. I just put the strike prices in and just hit. And I did this probably a couple of days after him. He undoubtedly has a profit in this trade. By the time I put it in, it's like the next day or sometimes even 2 days later or so. All right, so great job on HIMS. Great job this morning. Big performance this morning there. Nice job. Okay, meme trades. I made a childless cat lady spread for you guys, for people that think the Trump thing's overblown. And I did this the other day when it was at 50. But I didn't. It was after the market closed, but I just hit save. But anyway, do you guys want more content like this? This is a legit kind of spread. This is a kind of spread that Jay has not done yet in Alt-T, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does, called a broken wing butterfly. And this is a way to make a bet against Trump or against the DJT company. Now, this one would have worked out great, but now that the DJT stock is pulled back, it's probably time to make a bet the other way, is what I'm thinking. And I'm not a Trump guy. But I'm not against him. And I like lower taxes and I'm pro-American and everything. But I'm just saying I just kind of don't have a dog in the fight. You know, I mean, that's all I'm trying to say. So I don't even want to get in the middle of it. Let's pull them back. Because I'm definitely not a mainstream liberal Democrat, big corporate Dem person either at all. So, but I'm thinking now that this is pulled back, let's look here. Let's look on the daily. I think it's too late to put on the childless cat lady again. I think, you can, that's what I'm trying to show you guys. You could do option trades just like you trade stocks, but it's way more effective when you do it with options. Because, we could have shorted up here where I put on the childless cat lady, broken wing butterfly. But when you short something, you have unlimited loss on the upside, and it costs a lot more money to do. I did it in a lot more efficient way, especially for a small account. I only trade like a $20,000 or $25,000 account. I'm not gonna in my trading account. I'm not gonna short DJ. I'm not gonna short it anyway. That'd be the worst thing to do. This thing would go to 100 if I did that. But you can do the option spread, and it can then all of a sudden it can make a lot of sense, and it has the effect of a short. Let's check it because, it doesn't really have the effect of a short, but it makes money it makes money off lower prices. You just want prices under 50, which I thought was an easy bet. Let's put on the reverse one today. Hopefully somebody did that one or something similar, but let's do the reverse one today just because I want to show you guys this. I like to teach. That's my favorite thing. So we're going to just do one of these real quick. So we're going to get out DJT, but we're going to do the opposite trade. And I like to do it my own way, though. So I'm going to let me see here. Well, we'll do it this way with calls. Okay. Because you want to do the ones that are overpriced. Look, this trade looks like there's no way to lose. Now, that would be a fun trade to put on in real life. Just whatever the price is closed at, it closed at. Whereas if you could have got this trade, you'd had no chance of losing. So free money. And if DJT would have closed at 30, you would have made $250 per contract. But no matter where DJT went, you would have made $25 per contract. That's literally free money. Okay, but let's say if we were bullish. Now, let's say we're bullish through the election, and we want to make the reverse bet. Okay, well, let's just do that real quick. And this is a neutral to bullish. This is a bullish, but with the head start type trade. Okay, the market's closed right now, so, and I don't believe these prices, but this is the theory of it. I showed you guys how in VRT, Jay did. I showed it to you in my last show. You guys probably haven't seen it yet. I just loaded it, but he did a butterfly in VRT and Alti, which is a totally delta neutral trade, which looks like this. It's where you sell two options in the middle. You're short in the middle, and then long a call, and in the money call, long it out of the money call. You're short two, long two. It's like an not really arbitrage, but it's just it's delta neutral. You want the stock to go nowhere. Okay, so we can modify that by doing what's called breaking a wing. That's why it's called a broken wing butterfly. You take a wing and you make it where both wings aren't equidistant. If they're equidistant, it's called a butterfly. But if they aren't equidistant, it's called a broken wing butterfly. Well, the broken wing butterfly, it's an option trick where you can move the risk from one side of the return to the other side of the return, or vice versa. So it's a handy trick to know. So I'm not even going to save this because the market's closed right now and these prices aren't, I can tell these prices aren't realistic because the loss should be more than that. You can't make a trade like this with only $82 risk. I mean, that would be too good to be true. If you could put this trade on, let's just pretend like you could. Between now and November 15th, this would just be a play on DJT. You would just need the stock to stay above 26. And you wouldn't get a credit, though. This would cost you up front, but you just need the stock to stay above 26. And if it does, you make, it depends on where it goes. But if it goes to 30, you make $417, but if it goes, if you just make $67, there's a consolation prize on the upside, but at least you can't lose if it goes up. So you can't get short squeezed out of the trade is the theory of these types of trades. These types of trades are cool if you're bullish, but you aren't wildly bullish. You don't think it's going to 100. You just think we're going to pop from here. This is a great way to play it because guess what? If you're wrong and it goes nowhere, you even make a little bit more. If actually a person was wrong in this trade, we get in here to, the Thursday after the election or the Friday after the election, and DJT, let's say it's down 5% at 28. A trade like this would be a $155 winner, it'd be a double, or let's say DJT's up 5% or up 10%. What I'm saying is little moves don't affect it, or actually a little move is kind of the best thing. You don't want an up 20% move. But anyway, we'll have more content on those soon. That's called a broken wing butterfly. I'm not even going to save it because the prices are totally unrealistic. So anyway, what are you guys up to today? How's everyone doing? Is retired cop here? I bet you retired cop's here. But let me check in with you guys and see how everyone's doing. See if you guys have any questions. If not, I'm going to continue with my spiel. I have more stuff to talk about. So now I don't see any of you guys here yet. I guess I could open it on my phone and look at this. Anyway, maybe no one's here, and that's fine too. Hopefully somebody will watch this, and somebody will watch the replay, and that's cool too. Yeah, one day I had a freaking live stream and no one was there. Well, I think people were there, but no one talked to me. I kept asking questions and no one said anything. I thought maybe I would screwed up something, but anyway, I think I'm more enthused about options than other people are, and I think it scares some people off. All right, well, let's see what else we can talk about. I made some slides on some other stuff. Like I say, we're transitioning. It's like in grade school, you learn how to read and you learn vocabulary and you learn how to spell and how to, Then in middle school, you learn how to write an essay. Then, when you by the time you get to college and graduate, you've written your thesis. I mean, that's how stuff is. Same thing kind of with my station or whatever. I mean, I'm just through following the day-to-day trades. I was just out to prove something I've proven. I don't have anything left to prove. What I want to show now is how to actually, either if you are an option trader, use some of these techniques in your own trading. If you aren't an option trader, that's fine. Use some of these ETFs, but be able to allocate them right. Did you guys see my video on the $500,000 portfolio? That's not a lot of money to retire with. I mean, it's not terrible either, but it's an amount that you have to be pretty effective with your your money. Especially if you need $3,500 worth of income like that one guy did. I should have brought a Coke out here. Oh, there's one. Badass. I call it a Coke, but it's just an HEB. An HEB. All right. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So I'm trying to transition my channel to more like high school content. We know that the short put works. Okay, these dogs are going to go crazy now because their owner came home. Hang on just a second. They go jump on his car. I'm going to hold him for a second. I'm going to hold them for a second, then I'll let them go. But if I don't hold them, they go jump on his car and mess up his car. All right. So back to the live stream. But yeah, like I say, if you aren't an option trader, we're going to be talking allocation. There's a lot of strategies just in how to use these. You don't even have to trade options anymore. But if you understand how options work and how selling premium works and when and why it works, be able to allocate your portfolio in a more effective manner. Sorry the Defiance content is gone. I'm really apologize to Michael if he's watching, and Mark. Mark was really into USOY, and I'm sorry, but like I said, I met the goal. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything to prove anymore. We're still going to have a lot of Defiance content, but it's going to be on how to make money off Defiance. Right? I know this is a niche, and it may be such a niche that if you guys still want to watch stations that follow the individual trades, there's lots of them out there. But my station's growing to have a bigger goal. But like I say, but we're still fine with being small. It's such a niche, and I've run off a bunch of people, not intentionally, but people that got mad at me and left, and that's fine. It's about the quality of the subscribers. I want to make sure everyone understands. I'd rather go a little slower and make sure that we have a good solid base to work from. And that's my goal anyway. But I really am sorry that Defiance content is gone. But Mark, I estimated $1.18, and anyone else. I know it's not just Mark that watches USOY, that owns USOY, but I estimated $1.18. They paid 78 cents today. Last month, I estimated $1.50, and it wasn't me estimating. It was just my formula. Said $1.50, and it was like $1 or something. Something's wrong with my algorithm. That algorithm worked for triple QY and JEPY, but it did not work for USOY. So I feel bad I'm not following it, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to use USOY. Mark probably already knows this because he has USOY, but the thing about USOY, or a fund like USOY, is it's a covered call fund, sure, but it's not based on the stock market. It's based on USO, which is oil futures. Now, sure, it's correlated somewhat, but in any event, it gives you some built-in diversification just by the fact of it not being attached to the stock market. So, we're going to have a lot more content on it, and it's a good fund. But as far as knowing what the dividend's going to be, it doesn't look like I really knew anyway. I never really picked the USOY one down. I nailed the other one lots of times, but he uses a different formula. Maybe Jay's like keeping part of the dividend and then and like managing it and trying to make them more like steady, or I don't know. But anyway, or maybe whatever it is, what I think it is my algorithm is based on single day options. And I had to adopt it because they sell options the last 2 or 3 days. And that's what it really is. You honestly want to know that's what it is. And my algorithm never could adapt. So I'm sorry, Mark, and anyone else who was watching the Defiance content. And Michael keeps asking me, hey, when are you going to bring back the Defiance content? And I'm really not planning on it. But like I said, if anyone likes to follow Defiance, I will give them my spreadsheets and they can start doing the spreadsheets. I mean, all right. But yeah, that's what I'm really going for. Whenever I get a comment from someone, it happens all the time, that they didn't used to understand options and they never understood how yield max work or something until they saw the profit boxes and until they saw my report, and they really liked it because it finally clicked or something. I used to get those comments all the time. All I'm saying is I think all those people understand now. I think they're all on board, and it is time to go to greener pastures. All right. So there's Jackson and Aspen. So let's see. Let's also look, while I got you guys here, let's look at, did you guys see the volatility system was still bearish and the market sold off today? So maybe it does know what's going on. Let's look at the ULTY trades and yield max trades. Okay, did you guys see the trade Jay did in DJT? It was a cool trade. It's different than the ones we did in DJT, but I thought you guys might want to see it. It's pretty damn bullish, and unfortunately DJT was down today. It was one of the reasons ULTY lost. Let's do this first of all. Let's look at the ULTY verse. So here's the ULTY verse. You see DJT out of all the stocks in the universe was down the most, down 13.5%. What I was trying to show on this all the way to the right is what ULTY is actually up. That's what it's actually trading up 81 bips. Well, if you add up all of these, if you just had all the stocks, it's the ULTY is up more than just all the stocks. And that's what we would expect, because Jay's selling, doing all kinds of strategies and stuff on top. It ought to be up more than the stocks. Yesterday, when all these stocks were down, Jay was only down a fourth as much as the stocks, which is, so we can use this to compare. But right now, DJT is the worst problem for Jay. Well, let's see what trade he put on here. Here's the DJT trade, and I love it because the profit loss graph looks kind of funky, but that big flat shelf there means he can't lose. He put on kind of like a loaded dice trade. So the way I interpret this trade is, come election day, we'll do this. We'll fast forward the time. Okay, here we are. Well, here we are the Wednesday after election. So if DJT, the stock price is way up, Jay will participate on the upside. You can see basically he has pretty much stock performance there up and to the right. And he'll take, if he gets the move from DJT, even if it's over the flat spot, he'll take it off soon. See what I'm saying? Because then as time goes by, the flat spot comes in. So he's going for a quick pop after the election, or that's what his strategy is. I don't know what he's going for, but he'll play for a quick pop and then try to take this thing off. Now, today, the DJT was down 15%, but in any event, this is still a solid trade. And what I really like about this, you have to look at the whole trade. So he owns 95,000 shares of DJT stock. So just the stock by itself is bullish. But now look at what happens when you put these three options on top of it. These three options right here, a 65 call, a 45 put, and a 20 put, make it where the profit loss graph is more like an option. You have very limited life. If it gets, you don't lose until it gets under 20. So you have a huge head start, like a 30-point head start. And you don't lose unlimited, and you lose a small amount relative to what you can make. This is basically the profit loss graph of options on the downside and stock on the upside, which is what you want. Because if you have the profit loss graph of stock on the downside, of course, stock has a bad profit loss graph on the downside, good on the upside. That's the problem option solves. So he'll play for a quick pop into the election, I would imagine. And, if this thing will pop, I would imagine he would take some of it off. But then if that doesn't happen, and God forbid Kamala wins, okay, that's okay too for this trade, as long as DJT doesn't drop another 33% from here, which is a long freaking way. Because that's where the shelf comes in handy. That big flat shelf is just solid profit. And that represents his head start. The head start on this trade is about 46%. If you just look at where, and that's from today. He put this on yesterday in the markets. Okay, so right now it's 46% head start. And then you add, whatever it's down today, 13, 15%. And that's how much it really is. I think that's the mailman. Here, hang on. Will someone get these dogs? Because I don't.
That's the
or get Aspen. I'll hang on to
Aspen. Come here.
Aspen, go see Dad. Because I'm doing a live stream. All right. So the mailman's coming and we just don't want to. All right. But anyway, but Jay, what I love about this though, it has upside of stock. If maybe Jay's a huge Trumper if you put a truth serum in him. And if Trump does really well, it's probably potential that stock will probably double from here. If this stock doubles from here, Jay looks to make what, 1.6 million, 1.7 million, something like that. That's huge. You know, so it's not like, I mean, so anyway, this was a good trade, and it's an interesting trade too. So that's not one we're going to try to duplicate. But it's the same theory as the other ones. They all have pretty much the same theory. Boy, the mailman's here. The dogs are doing a great job not to bark. Thank you guys for not barking, because I have a live stream and the dogs are doing a great job not to bark. I have 2 really good dogs, especially the white dog, but the black dog's pretty good too. But this white dog just literally never does anything bad. He's trying to bark though. All right, so let's see what else we got. But you can see on here that and I didn't steal the mag idea from him. I have my own mag ideas that I've shown you guys. And even without being pro MAGA, just pro making money, almost all of these have made money because we got the direction of volatility right. Remember, and we didn't even care about the direction of the market. So let me see. Gosh darn it. Okay. Hey, what's up, Froggy T. White? Okay. What are these new funds? Where are they doing the opportunistic option spreads? Okay, check this out. Every one of them. I have a whole list of it. Check this out right here. I don't know if you guys can see that screen, though. I think somehow I screwed it up. That you can see that screen. Okay, gosh darn it. Okay, the question from Froggy was, where are the opportunistic funds at? Okay, they're all over the place. ULTY is doing it. YMAX is doing it. YMAX and ULTY both have the opportunistic call spreads. Actually, YMAX that's all they have. They have opportunistic call spreads. ULTY, they can do call spreads opportunistically, and they can do any other type of spread. And that's what I'm showing you guys. And they're doing some exotic stuff on ULTY. And we've stolen some trades from them. The loaded dice trade. I've had a ton of content on them this week. If you guys have been watching me, don't worry if you haven't been. No one else really has been. My station's just about dead, but it's on its way coming back. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for being here. But the opportunistic call spreads are here and have been here for about a month. And let me show you this. And I even have a page called Call Spreads. And this is all the opportunistic call spreads. The top line is a trade from ULTY, so ignore that. But everything underneath that, those are all the opportunistic call spreads. So on XOMO, the call spread, the top leg is 124. So all they need to do is ExxonMobil to go above 124. Well, right now it closed at 114. It's 7% underneath, but that's where we're rooting for that to go above. So this was all of yesterday's trades. They have a call spread on Disney, or they have the call spread on Disney. This will benefit Dizzo. If Disney gets above 99, it'll benefit Dizzo's NAV, right? So every single one of these is an opportunistic call spread, which just means you have unlimited upside above the price. Now, I've also on the same page, I'm still working on this. This right here is all the trades that ULTY has on, and they can do opportunistic call spreads. That would be a CCS, covered call spread. They have that trade on NVIDIA right now. They have that same opportunistic trade in ULTY. However, and they also have it on in First Solar, covered call spread. But they also have on these more exotic trades. I don't even know the name of the one they have on in DJT. It's just stock plus option. I mean, it's just some kind of hedge, something. Who knows? It's a caller of some type. But anyway, on AMSC, they do have a legit caller on. I'm going to show that one to you guys. And if you look at the Altiverse right here in this graph, this one is up the most. This one's up 16.39%. So let's look and see what he did in AMSC. So AMSC, it's kind of interesting. He did two things. and we covered both of them. On the 29th, he did a covered call where he bought the stock and he sold the 27 price call. Then he bought the 19 strike put. So it turns it into a caller. So let me show you the trade he ended up on is this. Yeah, that's the trade right there. So, and this is just, I just did on one contract, but what it does is it makes it, if AMC would have dropped, these little stocks could have missed earnings and you never know. And it's, let's say it's at 12 this morning or something. This one doesn't have any more downside. Its downside is totally capped under 19. There's nothing left to lose. Anyway, but this one turned out to, this one was a winner. Let's check this out. What's going on with DJT? Why did it sell off so much yesterday? I noticed the polls went the other way too the past couple of days. I've been busy making content for my station, but somebody put in the comments that they know what's going on with it. Yeah, so this is great. I mean, look at this. Jay killed it on this trade, and they had earnings. So this was an earnings trade, and they hit it. And Jay made money, and you're going to see it in the nav. All right, so I just came back to check the comments. All right, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, just put it in the comments. Let's see what other trades we can talk about. So for next week, we have ExxonMobil has earnings. So well, I didn't save it. I thought I had a trade in there for next week. Let's see. Let's look at some more alti trades. Jay had on, here's a Jay did the loaded dice trade in real life on Microsoft. Now it doesn't expire till next week. And Microsoft dropped a bunch today. People didn't like their earnings. They dropped from like 433 to like 4 or whatever. People are like me and hate it. They're the worst company in the world. Whatever. People didn't like their earnings. Even though it dropped that far, look, it wasn't far enough to ruin the head start or to knock it off the profit shelf or whatever you guys want to call it. It wasn't even really close to far enough. It would have had to drop another 1.5 from here. And it was already a pretty severe ass whooping. Let's check out the chart. So we'll see. We'll see. But this would be a great way. I'm sure Jay was thinking they were going to hit earnings. Let's look at it. You know, Jay was thinking they were going to hit earnings and move up 10 or 20%. And he would have made extra money, just like on stock if they would have. But if they move down, he doesn't lose extra money. That's the whole point. That's the whole idea of the spread. And if they move down, but don't move down too far, he doesn't lose any money at all. In fact, he makes money. So we'll see. But right now, as long as he stays in this, we're rooting for, or he's rooting for, or you're rooting for, if you have ULTY, prices to stay above 405. They sold the 405 put, so that's what you want. So we'll see. All right, I'm using a new computer, and I was going to talk about the Kamala Trump trade. Kamala's price is too low at Polymarket, but Trump's price is too low other places relative to Polymarket. So you can play Kamala at Polymarket and Trump at one of the other places, and you can make like 10% no matter which side wins. It doesn't matter who wins, as long as they don't pull Kamala and put in somebody else, or you know. Now I'm using a different computer today, and that one was on my other computer. I actually was that when I was going to use Excel for like a week. That one's on the other computer. Actually is inside of the computer. It's not in the cloud, so I can't get to it. The ratio was like $65. Let's look at Polymarket. It was like 65 on Kamala and 100 on Trump. And so let's see. And then if Trump wins, we can just do it in our head real quick. Well, so it was 100 on Trump, and the math was, gosh darn it, that's the lowest I've seen him in a while. Holy shit. Well, anyway, that makes the arbitrage work better. Okay, this arbitrage would really work well, but now it probably messes up. The ratio is going to change also. I'll make new content this weekend. I'll get that other spreadsheet going, but looks like Trump's price is crashing right now. But anyway, so that's good news if you're a Trump guy. That means you're actually going to, it's probably going to be more like a ratio of 70 Kamala, 100 Trump. But because Trump's odds are lower, it means he pays more. If you like Trump, this is good news. Just like it was good news last week when Kamala's price was getting killed for people that like Kamala, because you get better odds. So if you like Trump, I mean, here's a chance to buy the dip. He's low. He just dropped a point while I'm watching him. What's going on? It's anyway. I don't know if I haven't watched the news in a couple of days. All right. Well, we'll be on more of that information soon. But let's go back. Let's go to Polymarket. So Polymarket has Kamala at, 40. Yeah, so you bet $40 on Kamala, you win 60. So if you bet $80 on Kamala, you win 120. Okay. If you bet 80 on Kamala, then you bet 100 on Trump. Just doing this in our head. I have to have the spreadsheet out to do it, but in any event, hopefully you guys made your bets last week. If you did, you're fine. You're already locked in. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to make your 10% regardless. If you haven't done it already, maybe hold off on it. It was more attractive last week when Trump's price was, when the price was further apart. So, oh well. All right. What else do you guys know? Do you guys have anything you want to talk about? I'd damn sure answer questions if you guys had any. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to do a childless cat lady spread. So this would be an anti-DJT. I'm not recommending this, but I'm just saying it. But I'll save it in the comments in case anyone wants to do it. All right. If you weren't a believer, that would be a decent way to play the other side, the bearish side, because there you just want DJT to stay under 34. It's right around 31. If it goes above 34, you're going to lose. But if it stays under 34, you actually make max profit because that's where your short strike is. But even if it goes to zero, you get to keep your credit. The credit's $65. Looks like it costs about that much to put on. I'll save that and put that in the comments. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll let you guys get out of here. I just want to catch up on all the trades this weekend and or all the trades of the week. There's been a bunch of good trades. So look at this. Look, instead of by symbol, we'll do expiration. Lots of green. And it's all thanks to Jay. We're just learning how to do trades from Jay, and then I'm showing them to you guys. Sometimes I show you guys my own ideas also. And the clusterfuck strategy was my own idea, and I'm very proud of it. It's been killing it. MAGA Curious was my own idea, and it's been killing it. Dark MAGA's been killing it. The childless cat lady is a great way to play an anti-MAGA, if to bet against it. Anyway, if you guys are interested in content like this, stick around here. Appreciate you guys for being here. And I will talk to you later. All right. See you.